A good teacher has three loves. The first one is love of learning. The second one is love of the learner. And the third love is love of bringing the first two loves together, bringing learning and the learner together. Do you agree with this one? And what about you, my dear learners? Do you love learning this language? You are certainly in love with English. That is why you are here watching this informative video. But don't you love the process of learning this language? Well, I assume that you do. Do you love yourself? I'm talking about self-love here. Do you love the person that you are becoming? Do you love how you've managed your life so far? If that is the case with you, then you are the best teacher for yourself. Yes, you heard me right. You are your best English teacher for your own self. You are ready to teach yourself if you have all these three loves within you. Well, happy Teacher's Day to you. Yes, I'm talking to you. A very happy Teacher's Day to you. Hello, my dear learners. Welcome to another English learning session here on Skillfident with your mentor, Namita. Yes, I am your teacher, I am your guide, I am your trainer. But for learning this language like a process, because you are going to do it consistently, for learning it thoroughly and teaching yourself how to speak in English fluently and confidently, you need a teacher who understands you in the best possible manner. And nobody else in this world knows you as much as you know yourself. That is why I said that you are your best teacher. Now, I know that you have a lot of questions in your mind, ma'am. How come I am my best teacher? Well, I will explain you. I'll give you some justified, valid points which will make you understand how nobody else but you yourself can teach you English in a proper manner. You already know that when you are your own teacher, you can learn at your own pace with your own comfort and you can use your own resources. All things are fine. But there's one thing which is very significant, that no one else knows you, your problems, your areas of development better than you yourself. You know what exactly are you struggling with. When it comes to English, what your background has been. You know that nobody in your family could speak in English well. You know that you don't come from a background, that it was not an English medium background for you. You know your problem areas, and then you only know which is the right way to go by it. Because if you go out and convince people and tell them that this is my problem, they might not understand it. You know yourself better. That is why you know how to work on your English, and that is why nobody else can teach you English better than you yourself. English was a compulsory subject in your school. You have passed your 10th boards, even your 12th boards with English language. So it is not something new to you. You cannot say that I have to learn it from scratch. Of course, you know a lot of vocabulary, a lot of sentences. Let's not talk about tenses here, because all the learners come to me and ask me, ma'am, I have not studied tenses perfectly in school, so I really need to revive and need to learn them again. Tenses are not going to make you fluent, the knowledge of tenses. Fluency is acquired by creating an environment where more of English is spoken, where you are surrounded by a lot of English content. So for that, you don't need to get into the details. All you need is your own support. And there is one more thing that I would want to know from you. Till now, you have faced so many hardships in your life. Life has not been easy for you. It is not easy for anyone. You've struggled through a lot of other things. A lot of other aspects of your life were taken care of by you, weren't they? There were so many challenges. There were so many heartbreaks. There were so many points when you wanted to just give up, but you continued. You held your hand and brought yourself out of that situation, didn't you? So you only can solve your problems. Nobody else can. You've already solved the bigger ones. The rest of the problems, if we exclude English here, you have been your own guide throughout this journey of life. Why not here in English? You can do it. Of course, you can. Now, another thing is that when you decide to be your own teacher, when you decide that, okay, now I have to learn English and I will teach myself every single aspect of it, you develop the ownership quality. You take charge of this learning process. You are the owner now of this whole learning process. You know that I have to learn at my own pace. You know what resources will you need. You know which is the best method for you. You know which self-learning technique will suit you the best. Of course, you know it the best because now you are in charge of it. Otherwise, when you join a course or an institute or you hire a trainer for yourself, the first thing is that you feel that it is the trainer's job now. It is the teacher's job. He or she will teach me English. So that sense of ownership is missing sometimes. Now you will have that feeling of ownership that I own this process. I have to teach myself English and I am going to do it in the best possible manner. I know what suits the best for my requirements and I'll do it. So keep your pace in your mind. How you will go by this whole process. What resources are you going to use? Which particular skill suits you the best? Listening helps you more to learn new vocabulary words and form correct sentences, or is it reading? Or by writing every day, by journaling, or by writing quotations, or by just planning your day, just writing everything helps you more, or speaking to yourself helps you more. Well, if you want my side of suggestion, I would say that stick to just two of the skills. Go for reading a lot. Every day, read something and read it out loud. Read it to yourself. When you read something, your tongue is active, your mouth is speaking like I'm speaking right now. Your tongue is active, your ears are active because you're listening to yourself. Your mind is active because it is listening to everything that you're saying and it is keeping you ready to make new sentences. Whatever you're reading is correct. So your mind is very active. Everything is well coordinated. Read more. And the second one is speak more. Speak to yourself. Stand in front of a mirror and speak the same sentences that you've just read. Speak quotations. Speak some affirmations every day. There is a detailed video on affirmations. I always share it. You can check out that list where I upload free English lessons. So I share a lot of affirmations, beautiful sentences that you can speak out loud to yourself. So stick to two skills the most rather than depending on listening all the time, watching a video. No, read more and speak more. Now that's a suggestion from your teacher, right? Okay. Now there is another wonderful benefit of being your own teacher. You end up gaining a vast amount of knowledge. When you are learning on your own, first of all, you're not just limiting yourself to 1 hour of learning. You join somebody's session, the teaching will limit to 1 hour. Whatever your teacher will teach you, it'll be 1 hour, and most likely you won't practice when you come back home or once the session is over. You will be like, okay, I've practiced for the day. But when you are learning on your own, you will not limit the learning only to 1 hour. You will continue learning all through the day. Whenever you get time, whenever you can spare some moments, you will make sure that you learn. And as I say that you read more, you choose your own content, you choose your own resources. You just don't limit to certain vocabulary words and certain sentences and certain grammar. You end up learning a lot of things. Self-learning has this best benefit that you end up learning a lot. So your knowledge bank is always beyond full. You end up learning too many things, which is beneficial. So it increases your awareness because you're active. You're creating your own study material for learning. You're more aware of how things are, and you're more confident. See, when you're your own teacher, of course, you'll be more confident. When you sit in a class of 50 students and there is one trainer, one teacher helping you learn English, your confidence is always low. You're inside of your mind, there is always a rant which says that everybody else is better and the trainer is definitely better. I want to speak like her, I want to speak like him. When you're your own teacher, you're more confident. You feel that I'm the teacher, I'm in charge. That ownership will bring a lot of confidence. Your self-esteem will always be high. Apart from vocabulary, apart from grammar lessons, apart from phrases, idioms, what you learn the most is self-discipline. And self-discipline is not something which is required only in English learning. It is required in every aspect of your life. If you're self-disciplined, then you will not procrastinate more in your life. You'll complete all the tasks that are assigned to you, or all the tasks that you need to fulfill which are assigned to you. You will be more active, you'll take care of your health, you'll take care of your screen time. When you are self-disciplined, when you're disciplined enough, you do everything mindfully. And you need to be mindful for learning English also. It is not that hard. It's just that you have to be more aware, and you will be aware. Once you take charge, you automatically are more aware, you're more disciplined, and you end up learning a lot. Your knowledge is going to be very deep. Another benefit is that when you are your own teacher, when you decide that you're going to teach yourself English and you won't give up, your learning is always more effective. Now, this is something which I have personally seen with many of my learners. There are learners who want to stick to me, to my classes for months. No, I want to continue so that we are in practice. And there are learners who just go for 1 month of my sessions. They join my sessions, know that this is how we work. These are the exercises that I can practice on my own. Okay, now I need to read more. How am I going to read? How am I going to practice? Because I try to include a lot of self-practice exercises which you can do on your own also, apart from my sessions. So those who take charge after a month, who learn very well, who understand the techniques and then start practicing, end up becoming more fluent, and they end up becoming fluent faster as compared to those who are with me for 3-4 months. That's like my observation, and that's absolute. That is what happens. So your learning is always more effective. The impact will last for long. You will feel that I am not dependent on other. And when you are independent for learning, you end up learning more. You end up learning fast. If you're always dependent on a teacher, that I need a trainer, the teacher will teach me, it is her job to make me fluent, then the learning is not effective. You will just limit your learning to the 1 hour. You'll not study after that. You'll not practice after that. To make it more effective, to make it more long lasting, and to learn faster and better, you have to be your own teacher. It helps a lot. And you know what? Once you become your own teacher and decide that you are going to be your own teacher, this Teacher's Day, 5th September 2024, promise yourself and promise me, I'm your mentor, Namita, and I feel responsible for your learning. So promise yourself that you will be your own teacher from today itself. And you realize that after a month, you become a self-taught expert in teaching yourself. Initially, there'll be a few glitches. You'll feel that there are things which are not falling in place. You'll find it difficult. But once you have found a pace of your own, once you have found a path which you have to follow, you'll be a self-taught expert of teaching yourself more. And then learning a language is not something which you can limit to 3 months or 6 months. You continue learning it, you keep polishing it. But to become that self-taught expert if you need more guidance, because we always say that a teacher is a friend, philosopher and guide. If you feel that you need to take the initial baby steps with someone, you need a guide, then I'm always here. You can consider joining my sessions. You can write an email to me and you can always be a part of my sessions. Don't join it for a long period of time, just for that initial baby steps that you need to take. You can join the sessions, you can contact me and I will help you. So it is like train the teachers program that I sometimes do. I teach the teachers as well. So if you are your own teacher, then don't think that you're my learner. Think that this is a teacher's training program going on. I am teaching the teacher. You are the teacher, I'm just guiding you. So that is how we will do it. And you will notice that after a very short time, you'll be an expert, a self-taught expert. Your learning will be more effective, better than those who have joined classes. You will do it perfectly well. I have that faith in you. All right. Now, before I end this session, I would like to tell you something very important. Have you ever thought about it that self-driven learning comes from a personal desire? Why do you want to learn something? When do you look for the videos? Which video shall I watch? Because there are crores of videos now. Everybody is teaching English here on YouTube. Now, this desire to learn something comes from your personal desire of learning this language, your desire to be fluent. So that is why the self-driven learning is coming from that root. You want to be fluent. Agree? Now, if you cater to that personal desire of yours, nobody can actually stop you from speaking good and correct English. You have a lot of ifs and buts, you have a lot of apprehensions, you have a lot of low confidence within yourself. You give me a lot of reasons all the time that this is why I cannot speak. But you have to have that faith that when I decide to be my own teacher, when I am going to find a self-learning method which suits my requirements the best, my learning is going to be in depth. My learning is going to be perfect. This is something you have to teach yourself. And this is what a teacher's job is. That a teacher has to guide himself, the learner, because here you are the teacher and you are the learner. So as a teacher, you have to guide yourself how to do it, what kind of books to read, what kind of other resources you need, what kind of YouTube videos are you going to watch, what kind of vocabulary suits your work environment the most, because there are very difficult and some very fancy words out there. Do you really need to learn them if you're not appearing for IELTS or any other competitive examination? For your day-to-day work environment, English speaking thing, do you really need those fancy English idioms or phrases? You decide it for yourself. End of the day, it is your job to be fluent, nobody else's. How much money are you going to spend on learning English? How much time to one institute or a teacher are you going to devote? Be your own teacher and then you're free. Feel the freedom of being your own teacher. You don't need to spend money. You don't need to dedicate one particular hour of somebody's sessions. You're free to learn on your own. There is a sense of freedom. There is a sense of achievement. You end up feeling more confident. And above all, it teaches you self-discipline, which is, I think, the best lesson for any individual. So, becoming fluent is your responsibility. You are your own teacher. Don't try to find teachers here on YouTube, because there are so many people who come up and create videos. All of them are not teachers. Right now, you don't even know which one is the real one, which one is a genuine one, because so many learners are also coming and sharing their experiences. How will you know that whether this person is speaking correct English or not? If you have to rely on something, rely on books, because books will always have correct English. English books of any sort, novels, self-help books, story books, anything. read it. The books are not going to fail you, but this medium which you are dependent on is not always helpful. And if you're wise enough to find a real teacher, then nothing like it. In this world of technology, I think this is the best way to become your own teacher, because everything is available. There is Google. You don't even need a physical dictionary. You don't need a physical trainer. You can find someone over here if you can. That's my best wishes are always with you. I'm someone who is going to teach you in the best possible manner, and I am someone who always insists on self-learning. So today also I've taught you to be your own teacher. Once again, wishing you all a very happy Teachers' Day. You are your best teacher. Be more confident, take charge, and take ownership of learning English on your own. As always, my best wishes are with you. You can stay in touch with me for more guidance. Keep sending me the emails. You'll find the email here, and I'll see you in my next English learning session. Till then, take care of yourself. Bye bye for now.